to tell you about a new chapter, that is materials, metals and non-metals. You know, there are various types of material on the earth or even in the universe, and objects are of different shape, size, color and usage. Different materials have different property. So we have the two types of material, that is metals and non-metals. Now, on the basis of the property of these materials, the materials can be divided into metals and non-metal. You know what are the property of these metals? There are certain physical property and chemical property. So first of all, I will tell you about the physical property of the metal and non-metal. See, first of all, that metals are lustrous. Luster means their surface is shining. So those materials whose surface is shining, such materials or metals are known as lustrous, and non-metals are non-lustrous. Like the gas is non-metal, or sulfur is non-metal. So their surface is not shining, but the surface of gold and silver, iron or aluminium surface, their all surfaces are shining. So they are called lustrous. This property is called luster, L-U-S-T-R. Second property of the metal is they are malleable. Malleable means metals that can be converted to thin sheets by beating. If you beat a gold, it can be converted into gold sheet. So such type of metals are known as malleable. Non-metals are not malleable. They are non-malleable. Metals are malleable and non-metals are non-malleable. They cannot be beaten into fine or thin sheet. The next property of the metal is ductility. Ductility means the property of metals by which they can be drawn into wire. So, converting the metal into wire is due to the property of ductility. Such metals are called ductile metals, and non-metal are not ductile. They are non-ductile. They cannot be drawn into wire. That is, next property is that the metals are sonorous. Sonorous means if your utensil or any metal falls down, it produces sound. So such metals which produce sound on dropping down, they are called sonorous. And non-metal, if they drop down, they do not create a sound like metals. So they are non-sonorous. Then most important physical property of the metals is they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Whether iron or gold or copper, aluminum, you take any metal, they all conduct heat and electricity in very good manner. But non-metals are the bad conductor of electricity, and the bad conductor of electricity are known as insulator. That's why we use these plastic handles in electric appliances and wooden handles in cookware utensils. So these were the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So these all properties are in affirmation in case of metals, and they are in negation in case of non-metals, which are present in, these all are present in metals: luster, malleability, ductility, sonorous, and conduction of heat and electricity. These all are the properties of metals, and these all properties are not present in non-metals. So that is the difference between metal and non-metal. Now I will tell you the chemical properties of metals and non-metal in the next video. Now class 8, I am telling you the second part of metals and non-metals. In first video I had told you the physical properties of metals and non-metal, and now I am telling you the chemical properties of metals and non-metal. You know, the first property of these metals and non-metal is generally oxides of non-metal are acidic in nature. So if non-metal react with oxygen, they produce acidic compound. Okay. So second property is reaction with water. How metals and non-metals react with water? First point is metal react with water, but non-metals do not react with water. Only metal react with water and non-metals do not react with water, though they react with air. Who? Non-metal. Non-metal react with air. And you know, like phosphorus. Phosphorus is highly reactive with air, but it is non-reactive with water, because phosphorus is a non-metal. So if non-metal do not react with water, but non-metal react with air, so it makes explosion. So just protect phosphorus from the air. Phosphorus is kept inside water, but as soon as it comes out in contact of oxygen, it catches fire. It reacts. It is highly reactive. So metal reacts with water and non-metal reacts with air. That was the second property. Now the third property is reaction with acid. Reaction with acid of metal and non-metal. Metal react with acid and produce hydrogen gas. This is the characteristic feature of metal. Whereas non-metal do not react with acid. They do not produce any hydrogen. Then property, the fourth characteristic or property of metal and non-metal is reaction with bases. Metal react with bases to produce hydrogen gas. Metal, for an example, zinc is a metal. It is reacting with a base. The name of the base is sodium hydroxide, and it is producing sodium zinc hydroxide and hydrogen. But non-metal do not produce hydrogen. The next property is displacement reaction. In this reaction, the word itself explains displacement. During the reaction, one metal replaces the another metal. Like for an example, one metal replaces another metal in its liquid solution. See, if you take for an example copper sulfate aqueous solution. Copper sulfate aqueous solution means it is dissolved in water. So there is a copper sulfate solution, and if we put zinc in that solution, so what will happen? This copper will be displaced by zinc. Now copper is isolated and zinc has taken the place of copper. So it has become zinc sulfate and copper is displaced. So this is the displacement reaction. This is a very popular property of metals. But non-metals do not do this. Now uses of metals and non-metals. Regarding the uses, you see in daily life on earth, everything, lot of things, not everything but a lot of things are made up of metal. If you see all the machines, small or the big machines, they all use the metals. All automobiles means all the transport material, whether water transport or road transport or air transport. So every article need metal. So utensils, your cookwares, your kitchen utensils, they all are made up of metals. Industry gadgets like electronic items, your phone, computer, television, and other fridge or cooler or any other heavy machines, they all are made up of metals. So this is the uses of metal. Similarly, uses of non-metal. The example of non-metal is oxygen, and oxygen is very essential for survival. So non-metals are essential for life. Second, they are essential for plant growth also. Like non-metal NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. They are mixed with fertilizer, and fertilizer is given thrown in soil, and from soil the plants absorb nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium because they are required by the plant for their growth. For an example, NPK, nitrogen is necessary for the synthesis of amino acid, and amino acid is necessary for protein synthesis, and protein is necessary for the growth of plant body. So that way the non-metals are also equally or highly important. They are used in water purification system, non-metals, and making the antiseptic solution. For an example, iodine. Iodine is used in sterilizing agent solution, as used as antiseptic, and they are also used in crackers, non-metals. So this all was about the chemical properties of metal and non-metal and their uses and the uses of metals and non-metals. So this way this chapter is over in two parts. The first one physical property and second is chemical properties and their uses.